Today I'm going to talk about some of the joins that you get within Bedfordshire. I'm going to talk about doing plaits, taking them into a trail and leaving again, the kiss stitches, and also where you leave twisted pairs out to form either a vein or a join within the lace. Now on this sample edging we have plaits that coming out of a foot side into a trail and then back out and then joining the foot side again. I'm going to talk about the technique for this join here, and I'm also going to look at the kiss stitches which join the half stitch on this piece to the trail. And this is a way of actually doing the join without moving pairs across the space, because you might not necessarily need to transfer pairs from the trail to the half stitch and back, and you just need something to join the two features together. And this is used quite often in a vertical trail like this. Whereas in this piece I've used a twister pair to go across the gap which does the join, and it's the same on this side, although there's a slightly bigger space, and you put the number of twists on that needs to combine the two threads to go across the gap. So this one might only have 2 on, whereas this side, where it's a bigger space, might have 3 or more on, and you put the number of twists on according to the space. This one's very useful. You might also employ it, which I have done down here, where you've got a very small gap and you just want to transfer something across the space to join it. A plait looks a lot heavier and a twisted pair is much lighter. I've just drawn up this little pattern just to be able to show you the 3 techniques between 2 trails. Generally where you get a line mark like this, it would indicate a plait coming out of one area of cloth, going into the next, coming out, crossing as a plait, coming in and going back across. Sometimes kiss stitches are marked like this on a pattern, a little cross, and occasionally you might get a line like this, which you as the lace maker can interpret as a plait coming across, a twisted pair, or you could even work it as a kiss stitch. And the reason for this is it's your choice. Very often when you get a pattern, you decide it's a small gap, I don't need to lose too many from this trail, I don't need to gain too many from here. Do I actually need to transfer them across? And if the answer is no, you would work a kiss stitch, because this does the join without moving pairs. If you needed to lose a pair from the foot side, if this was the foot side edge, and gain it in the trail over here to perhaps do something else to the left of it, then you would take a plait across. If it was such a small gap you felt it didn't need that, you could just drop a twister pair across. So this is a little feature that you as the lace maker decide how you want your lace to look. Sometimes a twister pair is enough, but it is a weak point, so do bear it in mind. If it is only a twister pair, it has the potential for breakage in the future. For your descendants, maybe they'll have a weakness here and the lace will become broken. So it's always worth thinking about the future of lace. I'm just going to show you how to add in the 2 pairs we need for this plait. We're just going to use a temporary support pin and just use an existing pinhole in the pattern, and then we're going to hang 2 pairs on in open formation on that pin. Now some of you may have seen this done before, but I thought I'd include it while we're talking about plaits. Once we've hung them on in open formation, rainbow style, astride, however you like to call it, we're going to take the worker through from the right trail through to work this next pin, which I add 2 pairs on for this plait. And I've got them hanging there in the middle of the work with the workers from the right. Just cloth stitch through the first pair. We don't cloth stitch through both of them. Put the 2 twists on and then put the pin under the workers in the pin on that trail. This means that the 2 pairs I'm adding in are now astride that pin and will be completely secured for plaiting. I'm just going to continue to work down a little bit on the trail so that it's ready for it coming back in a few pins time. 2 pairs added in, look, are over that pin and they're left out. It's just a very simple little pattern with 2 trails, just to show you these 2 techniques, or 3 techniques. We seem to be getting a lot of wet weather this morning, so if you hear the rain, you can enjoy the natural sounds. I've just had a blackbird chirping away at me in the garden as well. It just adds to the music of the video, along with the bobbins working away. And each time I'm tensioning to try and keep that trail nice and tidy. Tension is quite critical on Bedfordshire, as with many laces, and you do have to be quite firm with it, but not firm enough, not snatching the thread so you break threads or anything like that. Okay, so we're now ready to do the plait, and the plait's just a continuous half stitch, and it's ready then to go into the trail on the left hand side. That is now ready. It's at the point where it's long enough, and I come to the left hand side. I work the worker through, ready to meet it. And to take it in, we don't take it in as 2 pairs, we take it in as 1. So we treat this as 1 cloth stitch. Just move it up a little bit so you can see it. So we do the cloth stitch by lifting each pair as if they were a single and take them in like that. This reduces the bulk on the join and makes it just a better appearance on the cloth stitch. But when you come to leave them out, you just treat them as normal, as 2 pairs. You take them in as 1 and leave out as 2. And I'll just continue again around this side. I always like to get it as far as I can on a pattern, so that you're ready to do whatever the next feature is, without getting too far ahead that you block yourself in if it's a leaf tally. So you do have to watch your pattern. And these zigzag joins could also be leaf tallies, as they are on some patterns. Again, if you felt you wanted to add a feature, you could change it to a leaf. It very much depends on the pattern as whether you want just a join to support it or an added feature. So that's ready now for the plait to come back in, and I'm going to work the plait over this side. Continuous half stitch, make the plait, and tensioning up after every couple of stitches. Some people tension it every 1. I generally tension it every 2. Unless it's getting down like that and I'm getting near it, and then I might tension every 1 at the end, just for speed. Take it in as 1 pair and leave it out as 2. And again I'll carry on to the next bit. And a kiss stitch is worked with both workers, 1 from each side. So I've then got to work down as far as the kiss stitch on the left as well as the right. I think you may be able to hear the rain now. It looks like we're set for a wet day. So no gardening for here today. any of you follow me on social media, you know I'm quite a keen gardener as well, and that's why a lot of my designs feature plants in flowers, leaves in Bedfordshire, because I'm interpreting what I'm seeing in nature into the lace. Very much as in the way that Thomas Lester and the Victorians demanded to wear the lace and the nature and the flowers they were seeing. Okay, so I'm across on the right hand side ready for the kiss stitch, and I'll just bring the left side down as well. So I'll take this plait in. Now this time it's going to stay in the trail as extra 2 pair of passives. So once you've taken them in, you just treat them as an extra 2 pairs. Take them in as 1 pair, and then they become passives just to sit there until they're needed again. And in most patterns this will be leaving pairs out on the other side to go and do something else. And in Bedfordshire we don't take them straight through, that's the cleaner technique. We leave them in as passives on the right and leave 2 out on the left if that is required. So now you can see the trail is that little bit thicker. And if you didn't need them, you could throw a pair out. You could go over here and take a pair and throw a pair out if you needed to. I'm going to leave them in for now. Just one more row to do, and then I can show you the kiss stitch. So I've worked across ready to do the pins on both sides. I put 2 twists on both pairs and I put the pin up on each side, just in the same way that you would do when you work in the trail. And tension them up. And the pin on the right. To do the kiss stitch, we just do a cloth stitch and put 2 twists on both pairs. And now the pair that was on the right has come through to the left, and the left pair has come through to the right. And they then continue to do the cloth on the sides that they've swapped to. And I'll continue on down to the next line, which is the twisted pair I'm going to take across. And because I've got the extra pairs on the left, I'll take it across from the left into the right trail. And this is something also you have to decide, if it's a horizontal line, which direction you take it. And you need to look at your pattern, see where you're going to need that extra pair. Maybe it can go backwards and forwards between the 2 trails, or it may be that you need to transfer them across for something else happening just a little bit further on in the pattern. So that's ready now for that pair to come across, and I'll just work this side down as well. You can probably see this trail is quite thick on this side. Generally trails in Bedfordshire have three pairs of passives and a worker, and then they do vary as they get features, plaits, leaves and things being taken in and being left out, and that's part of the nature of Bedfordshire. So you don't worry about it too much, but if it does get too packed where it starts buckling or twippering, then you have to throw pairs out, even if it means putting them back in, adding them pairs in 2 or 3 pins later. You can't allow it to get this buckled twippering happening in the lace. It just spoils the lace. But at the moment on this piece it's quite dense, but it's quite smooth as well. It's just packed. Okay, so we've now got to the line that I'm going to do as a twisted pair. I've got more pairs in on this side, on the left, so I'm going to take it from the left across the right. I just put the pin up as normal and then leave a pair out. Quite easy really. And then I work out how many twists I need to fill that space, and that's putting 3 on, I think maybe 4, just to make sure it's nicely twisted to come across the space. And come across and take it in just as a single pair. Quite easy really. And then you've got the join across. So those are the 3 ways of joining, or 3 of the ways of joining within Bedfordshire. There are other ways using leaf tallies, cucumbers, square tallies, all sorts of things that you can do between them, and they appear quite regularly within Bedfordshire. Hope that video has been helpful. If it has, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and hope to see you again soon. If you subscribe and click notifications, you'll hear when new videos are released. Thanks for watching.